Darwin Nunez is wanted by a raft of powerhouse clubs and is the top summer target for Liverpool, but why is the forward in demand? The Uruguay international scored 34 times for Benfica last season in all competitions, including goals in both legs of the club's Champions League quarter-final. Defeated Liverpool in April. No offer has been made by Jurgen Klopp's side for Nunez, who is valued by the Portuguese club at €100 million, £85.5 million, while Manchester United are also admirers of the. Nunez is also one of a number of forwards Liverpool are looking at this summer, with doubts over the futures of Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah, but the Benfica striker is the Reds' top target in this transfer window. The rise of Darwin Nunez explained. Transfer Center, Live. Liverpool transfer rumors. A whole Klopp of praise. Jurgen Klopp was full of praise for Nunez after facing the 22-year-old across 2 ties in the Champions League back in April. A good-looking boy, huh? And a decent player as well, joked the Liverpool manager. Really good, really good. I knew before, of course, but he played pretty much in front of me with his tough battles with Ibrahima Konate. He was physically strong, quick, was calm around his finish. Good, really good. I always say in these situations if he is healthy, it's a big career ahead of. So what's the fuss about? Nunez led the way for goals and conversion rate for players taking 20 or more shots in the Primera Liga last season. In 2020-21, the Uruguay international ranked joint second for assists, while in 2019-20 he finished joint fourth for goals with Almeria in the Spanish Segunda. The radar below compares his strengths with other forwards in Europe's top leagues and reveals the extent of his qualities, ranking among the top 5 per sent for goals, headed goals, shots on target, big chances created, dribbles attempted and touches in the opposition box. The goals flowed last term and the numbers are beyond impressive. 26 goals from just 1,986 minutes equates to a ratio of more than 1 goal per game. He fired 85 shots at goal and that also converts into a league-topping conversion rate of 30.6%. Nunez also offers longevity at just 22 years of age. When factored against every under-22 player across the Primera Liga and Europe's top 5 leagues. Last season, the Uruguay international leads every single player for goals and shots on target per 90 minutes, surpassing even new Manchester City striker Erling Haaland. A closer look. Nunez also provides versatility in abundance, typically starting on the left flank or up top for Benfica last term, identical positional fluidity to main in Diogo Jota at Liverpool. His unconventional, adaptive style would certainly suit Klopp's philosophy at Liverpool, and the visualizations below reveal how Nunez also frequently tracks backend can combine with players across the pitch when adopting varying roles. Indeed, the Liverpool manager experienced this firsthand when facing Nunez at Anfield. The heat maps below show how the Nunez switched roles in the second half, moving from patrolling a right-of-center area to the left flank. The touch map below highlights different attacking attributes according to color across his Champions League campaign last term and provides additional evidence of his ability to drive his team upfield from deep and his balanced effectiveness across the final third, while firing a substantial number of crosses from wider angles. In terms of attempts on goal, Nunez is not shy from firing an attempt from range but has a knack of finding the target and the back of the net from the left of center area, an area main dominates in the current Liverpool setup. As the graphic above indicates, Nunez actually clocked 4 secondary assists during his European campaign last season, but the visualization to the right below shows passes leading directly to a shot and suggests he typically lays off short passes inside the opposition box but can also find teammates from outside the area. Other areas of his game. That endeavor is best visualized with the pass map below, revealing an array of long, ambitious passes that often go amiss but, also, occasionally break defensive lines. The high frequency of long passes contribute to a below-average accuracy, but his successful, raking distribution in central areas would offer Klopp another dynamic against low-block opposition. Diaz arrived at Liverpool from Portugal's top flight with a reputation of pressing from the front and still ranks 27th in the division for possession won in the final third last season, despite leaving the club in January. Nunez is nearly half as effective as the Colombia forward in that area, which, perhaps, highlights one potential area for improvement if he were to sign for Liverpool given Klopp's high press and intense style of play. The View from Portugal. How good is Darwin Nunez? Portuguese football expert Pedro Sepulveda speaking on Sky Sports News. Darwin Nunez was one of the best players this season in the Portuguese league by far. The other one was Luis Diaz, who moved to Liverpool in January, and that made Nunez the absolute best player. Benfica finished the season in third place and failed to get a direct spot in the Champions League, but in 41 games, Nunez scored 34 goals and registered 4 assists, so you're talking about one of the best strikers. He's a modern football striker, like Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, strikers who don't just focus on scoring goals. They focus on playing for the team and making the whole team play well. That's why we're talking about 100 million euros. The biggest defect, or the less good point, about Nunez is his psychological game. In the 2020-21 season, he was not scoring many goals. He played 44 matches and only scored 14. He was criticized by the fans a little bit, and the first thing he did was start suspending his social media, blocking people and not reading the comments. This proves he doesn't deal well with critics when things start not going well. And in England, the price tag is the first thing people will talk about when he doesn't start scoring goals. When you talk about a player like Nunez, you think about a typical number 9 that plays inside the penalty area. But he can easily play out wide to break spaces for other players in the central areas if teams need him. It's a very good deal for Liverpool, who already used the Portuguese league with Luis Diaz in a massive transfer which the winger completely deserved. In Jurgen Klopp's hands, Darwin can be one of the top strikers in the world. Nowadays, he's not one of the top strikers because he doesn't play in the top 5 leagues. We have to see how he develops in the Premier League, which is one of the best leagues in the world. The making of Darwin Nunez. Meet Darwin Nunez, the Uruguay forward set for a big move from Benfica, and his former coaches are backing him to star in the Premier League. Sky Sports feature writer Adam Bates speaks to those who have followed his journey from the start to find out more. Which positions are Liverpool targeting this summer? Sky Sports news reporter Vinny O'Connor. Liverpool will look to strengthen their forward line this season. The fact they even spoke to Kylian Mbappe shows how intent they are to add further quality up. It makes sense with Mohamed Salah and Roberto Firmino entering the final year of their contracts, while the potential departure of Sadio Mane, who has also got 1 year left on his deal, and Divock Origi having already decided to go, makes reinforcements in that area a priority. If Mane is to leave, Liverpool will only look to do business for a fee above the 30 million euros that's been quoted, and they would want a replacement sorted before allowing him to go. With Fabio Carvalho due to officially start his Liverpool career on July 1, any further overhaul in midfield could depend on the futures of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Takumi Minamino. Oxlade-Chamberlain made 29 appearances in a 63-game season and hasn't played since the FA Cup win over Forest in March, while Minamino made just 24 appearances, and both could look for more regular first-team opportunities. Oxlade-Chamberlain is another player with just 1 year left on his contract. Strengthening the backline does not appear to be a priority, with Ibrahima Konate offering another option to Joel Matip and Virgil van Dijk, while Joe Gomez is Ableto cover right back and center back. Follow the summer transfer window with Sky Sports. Who will be on the move this summer when the transfer window opens on June 10 and closes at 11 p.m. on September 1? Keep up to date with all the latest transfer news and rumors in our dedicated Transfer Center blog on Sky Sports digital platforms. You can also catch up with the ins, outs and analysis on Sky Sports News.